Go.
Hello, sci-fi gangsters. This is the show where we talk about comic books, video games, and science fiction. But really, it's just an excuse for me to catch up with my friends, and that's what we're doing today. We have weird news with Noah. This might be a recurring segment. Every time Noah comes on, actually, it is a recurring segment. Every time Noah comes on, we're just like, I guess we're just going to talk about weird news because that's what we do
Let's talk about
when
it.
Noah's here. I'm very excited to have Noah here. But we're going to talk about horses getting injured. We're going to talk about rat holes. But definitely what we are going to talk about today is Noah's experience trying out for Penn and Teller's magic show. I want to hear all of that, but first I just want to go ahead and introduce everybody here. We'll go ahead and start off with the producer of the show, Acid. How's it going, Acid?
You know, I usually have really bad weeks, but this week it's still been bad, but not as bad.
Oh, okay.
Because we only have 6 days of school left. 6. And then I don't have to see another bus driver for 2 months. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
Congratulations. I know you're definitely looking forward to that.
I am.
Hear
I might
hear
show
all about that.
show up my first day of summer school work. I might just show up naked just because
Well,
just
I would
because
not
I want
recommend
to.
that at all. That seems like something that would get you in a lot of trouble. But whatever, man. Just go in there.
Or just
walk.
maybe margarita day. How about that? That might work.
Margarita Day sounds fantastic.
That would
I'm
be
always
good.
on board with Margarita Day.
Yeah, had a
I noticed that
margarita
you've had a
tonight.
margarita today.
I did. I've had a
So
margarita
you
today, and it was delicious.
You sent a picture of that margarita. What is the thing that I say every time we go and get a margarita, or anytime I drink a margarita? What is the first thing I say after I take my first sip of a margarita? Do you remember? Because I say it. I say it every time, regardless of who is there with me.
Oh
What do I
yeah.
say?
Oh, it's like happiness or bliss or something.
I say so much joy.
It's joy. Joy. That's what it is.
So much joy. So much joy when I have
Yeah.
that first sip of the margarita. So much joy.
But you see,
But
tonight I had the jalapeno margarita.
see, I'm not on board with a jalapeno margarita. I know people like it. What did you think?
It was El Ranchero. Okay, I have to do a little quick rant before we
Okay.
introduce Noah. So
Are
El
we talking about
Ranchero, yeah, El Ranchero is by far the best place to go Mexican wise for a margarita. It's fantastic, fantastic margaritas. They've changed their menu. They've completely revamped their menu. I'm not happy about them revamping their menu. The jalapeno margarita was good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I won't do it again just because all they did literally was take the margarita we usually get and they just dumped a bunch of jalapenos in there. That's all they did. There was nothing special about it. So I was like, yeah, it's okay. I'll just go with the regular next time. But the changing of the menu is what really got me, because me and my wife went to there's a Mexican restaurant in downtown Opelika that we hadn't been to before, right next to the railroad tracks. And we decided to go just to see what it was like. And that's what they've changed their menu to. We were not impressed whatsoever. But the margarita I'll go back again for the margaritas, but not for the food.
Well, I went there pretty recently, and the food was pretty good. So hopefully, just order the right thing. Speaking of people who loves margaritas, Noah, how are you doing? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if Noah she might not like margaritas.
Oh yeah, no. When I don't drink anymore, but when I did, margaritas were definitely my drink of choice. But I also love the spicy margaritas, so
When they're done right.
yeah,
They have to be
they're like
done
my
right.
favorite.
Yeah.
Here's my thing about the spicy margaritas. I know that the spicy margaritas are very in right now. It's a very trendy to get the spicy margarita. I don't like a spicy margarita because, and here's the logic. When I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm eating a lot of spicy food. I'm eating a lot of salty food. So I want a sweet beverage to balance out the spicy saltiness. It makes perfect sense. You got the balance. Something very sweet with something very salty and spicy. You can't have two spicies. It doesn't
But
work.
it's sweet
But
and
you can.
spicy,
But you can.
right?
Yes.
Isn't
You
it?
can have
It's
spicy
like
and
that.
spicy.
Yeah, it's like
Muy
sweet with the
caliente.
I want a dose of. I want diabetes in a glass
Frozen.
when I'm. But Noah, I want to go ahead and I'm dying to hear about your experience. I'm dying so much that we're going to start off with you. We're going
Yes.
to
I want to hear.
we're going to start with you, asking you just tell us your experience. Okay, so you were trying it. What's the name of the show again? Penn and Teller's
Um,
show.
Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Fool us. Love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a show on the CW. I did send in my auditions and I got I did have communication back and forth with the producer. The trick I sent in was a good trick, a really good one that's never been done before, nothing like it. But the reason why I found out is because of copyright issues. So, very expensive trick to copyright all the different outs. It has to do with vinyls and music and things like that. So,
Hmm.
I did send in a revised one with all original album artwork and all original music. Thank you, AI, for
There you go.
that.
Very nice.
Um, and I will say that I had I have some AI bops underneath my belt now. Like
Mm.
they are really good. I can't, they're really good. But I don't think that it's going to work out for this season. It's going to be a very if we go the route with the AI, it's going to be a very expensive trick. And it's going to take a little while longer to produce than I have before they start filming. So.
Oh, you should have sent it to me. I could have played it here on the show.
Oh yeah, no, I have like 4 or 5 different bops about chinchillas, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, seesawing on a playground. Yeah, I have tons
Yeah.
of
Can
yeah,
you just can you describe the trick without giving it away? Can you just like just a basic like what does the trick
yeah.
look like? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the trick is basically I have 3 spectators. They all choose an album. Um, And the original trick I'm still gonna do. I'm still gonna do that trick in my shows. So I'll explain that one to you. Um, so yeah, so basically I have 3 spectators that choose an album. I have like 4 or 5 different bins just full of vinyl records. So they choose an album. It's a free choice. And then I ask them to choose their favorite song off the back of it.
Hmm.
They put the album inside of an envelope, and the one of the spectators shuffles the envelopes up to where they don't even know whose envelope is whose. And basically, I uncover one at a time who who's out who's what album belongs to who, and I tell them the song that they chose off the back of it. And then the very last one, obviously, is not a huge reveal because I only have one album left and one spectator. So that album is actually empty, and behind me is a turntable where the song that they chose is actually playing. So when you turn up the
Hmm.
volume, their song is playing.
Well,
Oh,
that's
very
cool.
cool.
Now
It's
let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Knowing what I mean, yeah, obviously you made this trick. Obviously knowing its ins and outs. If you were to get on the show and perform it flawlessly, do you believe you would fool Penn and Teller?
No,
You don't think you would?
no, I
No.
do not.
They would know
Um,
exactly how you did it.
um, they would not know exactly how I did it, but they don't have to know exactly how I did it. They just need to know what kind of method I do. Well, actually, it depends on if are they if they can only guess on one of my methods. So I have a method for knowing what album and what song each person chose.
Hmm.
And I also have a different method for having that chosen album, a freely chosen album, actually on a turntable behind me.
Okay.
So I don't know if they would be able to guess the album playing behind me, but I do think that they would be able to, they would know how I knew what
Yeah.
song and
Yeah.
album
Yeah.
each.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
now, was this something that you knew was a possibility that you would get rejected for copyright right off the bat, or just like this
No.
something like kind of blunt, like yeah, you weren't expecting that at all?
Yeah, I had no idea. And they actually really love the trick. And so they really do love the trick. It's obviously the trick that I but so the revised version is nothing like the trick that I just described to you. It does have to do with albums and music, but it's obviously like it's just gonna hit different. Like so the one I sent in was a completely different trick, but it was like the same like vinyl record type thing. But it honestly wasn't as good as the original one. And it's very sad that can't be used on television because it's a really awesome trick to see
Yeah.
live.
they're
And
they're not
original
paying
one,
for that copyright.
yeah,
I mean, the appeal of the original one is that like it's music that people know, they
yeah,
recognize, right? So they're kind of like that's part of it.
yeah.
So like knowing the songs is a big part of the appeal of the trick.
What if you went open source, like the stuff like for example, like Mickey Mouse is now available to everyone. As far well, the tugboat Mickey is available to everyone, copyright free. Like if you went back in time that far, 100 years, to find some music that people now would still recognize, like some old 100-year-old classic hits, would you be able to do it with that?
So I probably would. It would still, though, it wouldn't be the same
Yeah,
as
Yeah.
I
the
gotcha.
one that I sent in. And I really hope that you guys get to see the trick live that I just described to you because it really is a great trick. And I have gotten tons of great feedback from like really amazing magicians, like magicians that have been on Fullest, and they were very like I wish I would have known before I sent it in, but I'm actually glad I sent it in because I did get feedback from some really great guys that were like, "You're not going to be able to play this on TV, but this needs to be in your show. It is that amazing." And
Mm.
someone even offered me money for it.
Oh wow.
Like they loved it that much. So
Oh well.
really great trick. But
Would you
Well,
have
that's
sold
very.
it for $20 million?
Hmm.
that would have been amazing. It was
Yeah.
definitely not that much
Oh,
money that
okay.
they
Well, you never know. You know.
So this is a trick that you do like live, like you've done it live a couple times in front of an audience.
I have done it one time in front of an audience. I haven't done it a lot. I've only done it one time in front of an audience because I did get some custom made albums with the original album artwork made on it. And I actually just received those not long ago. So the albums I was using before were the actual albums like but I didn't want to like mess them up and you know what I
Mm.
mean like
Mhm.
so I went ahead and just ordered like replica album artwork or albums, so I'll be using those. So now I'll be doing it more and more. It's a huge trick though. It is like very big trick.
So it's basically like your closer, like
Yeah,
this is what
for
you
sure.
close with.
Nice. Is there
Very cool.
smoke involved?
No, but there
Oh,
could
okay.
be, I guess.
I always like a good trick with some smoke.
You know what? If you come to the show, I will put smoke in it just for you.
Just
Sweet.
bring some. Should just have a vape.
Yeah. Just, and now my next trick.
Blow it in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is I am starting my own show here in Birmingham called Laugh-A-Cadabra. It is a
Mm,
comedy show
Cool.
for a magic comedy show where magicians will come in and teach
nice.
comedians a magic trick to do before their sets.
Anthony, that sounds right up your alley.
I guess so. All
You'll have
right.
to
Just learn a
open.
little
You'll be the
magic,
opener.
a little card trick.
Yeah. You could
I'll
tell
make
all
all my
your.
friends disappear.
Yeah.
Right.
Sponge
That's it.
balls, yeah. So we're like doing sponge balls, rope tricks, card tricks, all of that. So just little tricks for them to do, and hopefully, will spark some sort of, you know, inspiration for a bit of some sort. But
Nice.
yeah.
How much material do you think you've built up? How much? Like, if someone said, "Hey, look, we need you to do a set," and what's the longest set you could do? What do you think you could do?
Well, so there's different kinds of sets. So I have like walk around, and then I have like parlor and stage. So for a walk around show, I could probably do. well, I mean, it's easy to do the same trick over and over again. So I would say I have hours of walk around. But for a stage show, I mean, I have a good bit. I've done probably 12 stage shows in the last 5 months, and I've never done the same trick twice. So I would say I have a huge repertoire of stage tricks. I would say at least 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours of that. And then parlor is just kind of like a mix of close up and stage. So I mean, I have a good bit of magic, and you have to remember, like, magic is very much there are only there are very few methods, right? Then the trick is where all the where everything is like that. That's where all the magic is, right? It's like, what do you build around it, right? So you can just learn a few different methods and know hundreds of tricks right off the bat. Yeah.
So do you have a trick right now you could show us?
I do have a trick right now.
All right, we're gonna do a magic trick right now for the visual
I'm ready.
listener.
That's right. I'm ready for it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna have both of you. All right. Think of a card. Just think of one, any card, and I'm going to name your card.
You're just gonna name it. Okay.
I'm gonna name it.
Oh, let me think.
Okay.
Let's see.
I got one.
Okay, you've got your card.
Okay,
right.
I got it.
Okay. So, who wants to go first?
I will. Go ahead.
I guess I'll go first.
You'll go first.
Okay.
You go first. Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Anthony, you go first. Okay. So just are you thinking of your card, or can you picture it in your head right now?
I'm picturing it in my head right now.
Okay, I want you to send it to me. Like, I think I've got it, but I'm gonna say it out loud, and hopefully I've got this right. The name of your card is Norma.
Okay.
So
right.
Did I get it right?
No. So wait, you're saying that?
You're probably thinking of like that kind of card, like a plane.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my bad. All right. Okay. So what was the card that you were thinking of?
Well, I can't tell you that because that gives it away.
No, well, I've already named your card, but just go ahead and tell me what the name of your card was.
So you want me to tell you what the
I want you to tell, because you sent me Norma, but that's not obviously.
So I'm telling. I feel like I'm being tricked.
Just say it.
A 3 of clubs is what I was thinking.
All right. So what's weird about this deck of cards is that they all have, like, all of these cards have names on them.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So like, I have like Amy.
Right.
That I have Gus.
Oh, we fired Gus. Gus got fired. Yeah.
Yeah. I have Amy's the 3 of hearts. I have Gus, who's the 9 of spades. I have Sandy, who's the Joker. Okay. Who's that? I have
Hazel. That's a
all right.
good
So you can see all of these cards have like. And yeah, and this is a real deck of cards. Like.
Yeah. I'm sure Jeremy's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure Jeremy's in here. This is where Jeremy's been. You said the 3 of clubs, right? Whose name just so happens to be Norma.
Oh, that's good.
Well done. I like it. Very good.
Yeah, and so
I like it.
And then I said I was also thinking of but I was thinking Felix for you, but
I
don't know. Like, can you just go ahead and tell me what your card was?
It was the Ace of Hearts.
The Ace of Hearts?
The Ace of Hearts. There it is.
Well, that's awesome because the Ace of Hearts.
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty sweet.
Very good. Well done. Well done.
I love
enjoyable.
I'll always love a good card trick. That makes my day. You made my day, Noah. You made my day.
Glad.
Thank you. We're gonna have to hire you in August to come do a magic show for all of our bus drivers.
Yeah, I would love to.
We'll do that.
Need to host a comedy show down here in Auburn just to get you to come down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, come on down. You're not far. Just a couple hours. That's it.
Yeah, I moved to Birmingham, so it's not really that far, right?
Bring your hubby,
Right.
bring your dog, bring everybody.
Oh yeah, I'll bring both of my dogs.
There you go.
Bring all 30 of your birds.
They're 3 birds, but it's like having 30 birds, I imagine. They
Nice.
are so messy and so loud.
Well, very good, excellent. Well, I'm glad to hear that you got something out of the your experience trying out
Yeah,
for it.
that's cool.
I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about your, building on your career as a magician
Hey.
and finally quitting your job and just doing this full time. Have you traveled anywhere to do it? Like, have you reached out like, hey, I need to get on the road a little bit and.
So
Yeah.
I have only traveled to Huntsville to do magic. I did a close-up show for a local gym. So that's as far as I've traveled, but I will be traveling to Las Vegas to do magic in August.
That's right.
You'll have to send me your business information.
Yeah, for sure.
If I can swing, like, do you do like half-hour shows?
Yeah, I'll do whatever y'all want. So
Yeah.
I have half hours, I have whatever. Just
Because in August we'll have all the drivers come back, and we'd like to hype them up a little bit. And I usually have a video for them. So, but I mean, if they'll give me a little extra wiggle room in my budget, I may pay for your gas money to come down to Auburn and
I would love that.
do some magic for the drivers before they
There we
get
go.
the
So
school
we're
year
creating
started.
connections.
Look at that! Look how we do it.
We're all
This is
doing-
great.
Excellent. And maybe one day I'll return to comedy. Once again, I teach 4 classes a day, or every other day. So I get all the everything that I would get out of doing stand up in front of an audience. I get teaching and goofing around with my students.
Well, how many jokes do you tell in a semester?
So I do this thing called the question of the day.
Okay.
It's the beginning warm up, and it's basically me just goofing around and doing crowd work with my students.
Oh, okay.
Like I'll ask a question, and then
Can
they
you give
answer
us
the
an
question.
example?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
So I'll do something like, "What's your favorite musical artist?" And
Okay.
they'll
Okay. So if I
they'll
said
tell me their favorite
so if
musical
I said
artist, and
Savage Garden, then what would you do?
I just like, oh yeah, sounds good, the '90s. I just kind of go out. I just kind of ramble.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
kind of the '90s music, and then of course I have a couple of jokes lined up for like someone says Drake. I said, you started from the bottom, right? Or like just like stupid stuff like that, just being goofy, goofing around.
What if someone said P Diddy today? What would you do? What would you say?
Oh, PD, you got to be careful with him. He's a dangerous fella. Or like, Morgan Wallen. I'm like, oh, you be careful with those chairs. Just stupid stuff. Just be,
Yeah. Okay.
goofing around. Just
right.
having fun with my students, just being silly. But of course, I have my go-tos. If people say a certain thing, then I'll kind of ramble and kind of do some things. And sometimes I'll make myself laugh when I say things.
It's fair.
Sometimes
I do that a lot.
I bet, do they laugh when you laugh at yourself?
we have a good time. We have a good time in the classroom. So some classes like it more than others. Some classes are like, what the heck is this guy doing? Other classes are like, they're all 100% on board with it.
Is that determined by time of the day that the class is held?
Yeah, usually. Although so usually 8 a.m. classes, they're not really, they're like, what is he doing? Why does he
Everybody's
have all this energy? Why is he
still
goofing
asleep.
around so much?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one class that was super quiet at the beginning of the semester, and then like halfway or like more than halfway through the semester, they're like, "Oh, he's just trying to have fun." And once they kind of they kind of got into that, and then of course I always do callbacks. Like if someone says something earlier on, I'll bring it back at the end of the last student or whatever. Or if someone said something funny at last class, I'll bring it up. Like I had one class where I just kept bringing up my tomatoes, and they laughed every time I brought it up. Like I talked about how I grow tomatoes, and I was like, you know how much I love tomatoes. I don't know. It's just so stupid. Like it's just silly, stupid. But yeah, very good, excellent. Have a good time. Once again, see, crowd work is one of those things where like when you explain the joke to someone who wasn't there, it is not funny. It is 100%
No,
not.
yeah, for sure. I get it.
You have to be in the.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I've had classes where I've done the question of the day and people are like losing their we're all cracking up and having a good time. So you can look at my rate my professor score and see hilarious is up there. I mean, come on, look. Anyways.
Oh wait, they have those. They have a rate your professor.
That's a website.
Shut up! I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So I'm on Rate My Professor, and I always at the end of the semester I always tell my students, because we're required, not required, but we're encouraged to get students to evaluate us. So what I say is at the end of the semester, I say, hey, give me an evaluation through Auburn's system, but also give me a Rate My Professor score. And I always do a bit at the beginning of the semester where on the very first day of class, I go, I ask, what's one thing that you hear about this particular class? And sometimes someone will bring it up. And then I'll go, what's one thing? Has anyone ever heard of anything about me? Do I have a reputation? Sometimes people say something, sometimes they don't. I go, did anyone look me up on Rate My Professor? And they'll go, some people will shake their heads or whatever. Then I'll go, let's check this out. And I'll just pull up and Rate My Professor. And it always gets a huge laugh when I pull up Rate My Professor and my scores up there and I kind of go through my evaluations.
I'm going to audit your class one semester.
Oh, I am so I love this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This I'm reading your Rate My Professor right now. So
the negative that I get the most. Does anyone want to? Obviously, Noah's.
I don't know. Let's see. So what's the what?
What's the one negative? What's the negative that I get the most? What's the negative?
Trump supporter.
Quite the opposite.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
You're a hard grader. Is that?
That's it.
Oh, you seem like you would be an easy grader.
So you're a hard grader. Interesting.
Apparently, I am. I don't think I am, but apparently, I have definitely had the reputation of being a hard grader.
Okay.
Oh man.
I just hold students to a high standard,
My second guess was going to be racist, but I guess that's completely wrong.
Clearly.
I haven't seen anything about you being funny though.
Oh, that's not good.
It's on there. It says, look at the thing.
It's the guy. Just scroll all the way to the bottom. It's probably there. Yeah. When he wrote in a comment for himself.
What did the tag say? What did the tag say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Hilarious.
Thank you.
Tough grader.
I'll take it.
4 hilariouses and a tough grader. I like it. That's good.
You're respected.
I'm respected as well.
Amazing lecture.
You should start telling them to say, give this guy a raise. Give this professor a raise. He needs more money.
More money.
Give him the bank.
All right. So I think let's go ahead and move on to our next segment. This is obviously this is a.
I was going to tell you my big news.
Oh, go. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to move on without.
I missed my chance to do big news. So this Friday, as in 2 days from now, I will be traveling to Lilith Springs, Georgia, which is about 20 miles west of Six Flags, if anybody wants to know. And I will be purchasing a new truck.
Oh my God. I thought you were saying you were going to be moving.
No, I'm not moving. God, no.
Okay.
Well, I say a new truck to me.
Congrats.
Thank you.
What kind?
What's the reason for a new truck? You're just trying to get a new one?
My current truck, which is a 2008 Chevy Silverado, it's been great. I've actually purchased it twice. So the story behind my current truck is I bought it many, many, many years ago from Lynch Chevy over here in Auburn, and got it. Everything was fine, and then we did the Dave Ramsey stuff, so I ended up having to sell it to get out of debt and all this stuff. So my stepdad bought it because he had an old, like a 1982. He had a Nissan little pickup truck, 5-speed, like you could barely put a bicycle in the back of this thing. So he sold that and bought my truck from me, and then we went down to one car for a long time. And then once we got out of debt, like 5 or 6 years later, they bought a brand new like GMC something or another that was like like had 10 miles on it or something. So brand new GMC Sierra super duper package. And he was looking to sell the truck again. I was like, well, why don't I just buy it back from you? So I bought it back from him and have been driving it ever since. And this has been several years ago. And so years have gone by and the cruise control no longer works. The back passenger window, I have to every 4 weeks, I have to put packing tape on the window so it doesn't just fall straight down into the door. Because it costs like $1,000 to get it fixed because it needs a new motor and a new window and all this other stuff in it. And it only has 2 doors. Well, it has 4 doors, but you have to open the main door, whether it be passenger or driver's side, and then you can open the backside door. So I don't have.
Because it opens like a French.
Yeah, well, you have to open one and then you can open the other one.
Okay.
And so getting groceries or getting people in the back of it is just a stupid nightmare. And but everything else is fine on it. Like everything else is half new. Like the tires are only like a year old. I put a new alternator in it about a year ago. I just put new headlights on it. Like the paint job is horrible. It looks like it's been through an Armageddon nuclear blast. But I just kind of was like, you know what? It's time. I'm ready for 4 doors. I would like a backup camera. I would like, I don't care about trucks, but I need a truck so I can, because we get a real Christmas tree every year. So I need something to haul a Christmas tree in. And then my wife does that Kids Close Connection local. You probably know what I'm talking about, Anthony, in town, which is in Opelika. And so when she sells all the kids stuff, we'll load it up in the back of the truck and take it over there so she can sell it. So I'm now purchasing I believe it was a 2014 Ford F-150 4-door, 4-wheel drive, very nice looking vehicle. Leather seats. It's like a Lariat package, which apparently is nice. So it has the camera, the backup camera on it, 4 doors, leather seats. It has a sunroof. I'm like, I've never had a sunroof before. I didn't even care about that, but I was like, oh, it comes with a sunroof. Okay, that's great.
Now you can see the sun.
Now I can see the sun. I can just look up and go, oh, the sun is shining. There it is. So
that's what happens when you become the boss of the buses. Uh-huh. The boss of the buses.
I can afford 10-year-old trucks. I'm very excited about it.
10-year-old trucks are really nice.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
believe it's 5 years newer than what I got, so I'm not mad about it.
It doesn't seem like 2014 was 10 years ago, like at all.
I know. It's crazy. But, and this isn't my like forever truck or anything. Like I'll probably put around in this one for about 5 years, let the kids, go off to live their lives and that kind of stuff. And then I'll splurge on something. Maybe I'll get a Cadillac or something.
Let them buy you a truck.
They'll buy me a truck.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe my YouTube shorts will take off and I'll be a millionaire.
There you go.
Which, by the way, you should check them out. My last one, there's this spoof on YouTube. This will be my last thing that we can get in the topic. There's this guy, he comes on just to make these little short clips so that you can splice your own stuff in after the thing that he said. And so he comes on and he says, the object to your right is going to make you famous. And then he cuts it off. Well, you can remix this stuff to whatever you want. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. So a couple of days ago, I was, when you're on the pooper and you're scrolling through, your YouTube feeds or your TikToks or whatever you do while you're dropping your deuce.
I always read a shampoo bottle, but
there you go. Read the shampoo bottle. Well, that came up and I was like, ooh, I could remix this real quick. So as I'm sitting there, I hit remix and pan over to the right, which just happens to be the toilet paper roll. And and clue, it's like a little. It was the toilet paper roll. It's the toilet paper roll. Yeah. So and then it blew up. It's got like 1,000 views right now. It's crazy.
Well, there
Oh,
you go.
wow.
I'm very excited.
Congratulations on your toilet bowl, your toilet humor.
Very excited about it. Yeah. I did well. I did well.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
Well,
now you
it
can
seems like-
start the show now, Anthony. We're good.
No, I'm just gonna say just to sort of recap. She's got her magic career is booming, right? And then you got Acid with his his toilet his toilet segments. They're going off.
They're going
right?
off.
For me, teaching online over the summer, it's gonna suck. But I'm just like we all have things that we're proud of. But yeah,
We do.
so let's go ahead and get to our next segment. Once again, this is a Noah exclusive, and that's weird news. So we need a sounder. It looks like Acid is showing us his reels. Very good, excellent.
There it is. I'm so famous.
Very
now.
good. All right, so our first news story. I think we definitely need some sounders.
Okay.
Definitely need some sounders. We'll make some, but weird news. All right, so our first news story. I'm looking at the B one. We're not gonna do the B one. Let's do the. We'll start off with the Chicago rat hole. So
I didn't even look at these. I didn't have time. I was drinking my margarita.
don't worry, I'll read the news story and then you
Okay.
can just respond. This is what
Okay, let's do
podcasters do all the time.
Okay,
right?
come
They
on.
do a
I'll
weird
respond.
news story and then everyone just chimes in with their little comments.
Let's do
right?
it.
It's what people love, right? Well,
I'm wicked
apparently
smart.
Chicago has a very famous rat hole.
Uh-oh. That's
But
where
it
I'm
was
going next week.
removed. Unfortunately, it was removed after the city determined that the sidewalk with animal impression was damaged. So apparently there is this sidewalk in Chicago that sort of has this like cult following where there's like a hole in the sidewalk that looks like a rat. Apparently, I did a little bit of research, and by research I mean I read the article, and apparently people believe that it was actually a squirrel that caused the hole, but it looks like a rat. Like the hole looks like the outline
Oh,
of
it's
a
shaped.
rat.
It's a rat shape.
It's shaped like a rat.
All right.
So it's got the tail. I'm looking at the picture right now. It's got the tail. It's got the head, whatever. But apparently, like people will travel to this sidewalk and they'll take pictures with the rat hole, and they'll throw things into the rat hole. But apparently, people have gotten upset. They've gotten they're very unhappy
Is the rat
that the
hole...
city has decided to remove the rat hole because of a couple of reasons. The first reason is because the sidewalk was uneven and damaged, so they had to redo the sidewalk. But also because this is what the article says, that there was too many people. Like there was complaints from the people living around that rat hole that too many people were traveling to the rat hole to take pictures.
Oh wow, and making
throw
it worse.
Like it was like a destination. Like it was like this cult, like landmark.
Man, they should have just put a little tip jar out next to it or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
rat
insert $1 and take a picture with the rat.
Charge
I just,
people
you
for
know.
it, yeah.
So
That'd be
I don't
nice.
know much about the rat hole. All I know is that I've seen pictures of it, and it does look like a rat hole. Like it looks like a rat was like running very fast and into the sidewalk.
Let's see.
But apparently done by
Let's see if I can
people.
find a picture I can show the people's.
But apparently,
Oh my, that's crazy.
So apparently, this rat hole has been around for,
Here we go.
according to the article, a couple of decades. So it's not like it's not like a recent,
It's historic.
like it's a historic rat hole that people travel to take pictures with. Once again, if I'm getting any of this wrong, I apologize to all the rat hole fans out there. But
I showed the picture. It does look like a rat.
it does look like a rat.
What is the white stuff?
I'm not sure what's going on with the white stuff. It looks like steam,
Oh,
but like
so cool. I love this.
maybe like it's like a deep hole.
No, somebody probably took a vape and just blew into the
Oh,
rat
yeah.
hole.
And
Yeah.
they're doing magic.
Straight Noah style.
I see
Rat
pictures
hole
of like
magic.
people putting coins in the rat hole.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, I mean, it's not like it's a rat hole that goes straight into the earth. It's It's like honestly, it's like a mini little pothole. Like
Yeah.
a bike would feel this, like a bicycle. But
That's a great way of putting it. I think it's like a pothole.
yeah, but I mean,
Oh,
it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. It looks harmless. I mean, I'm looking at a picture of the square of concrete that it's on, and it doesn't look like
no, it looks
it's
super
messing with
even.
anything. Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
the only reason why people have why it's been replaced is because like it was. I think their excuse is that it was uneven or it was damaged, but
What if they
I think
replace it and then put an actual sustainable rat hole right there
what if
that
they
they
put
can
like
use
a
later?
new one and like a new animal, like it's like an owl or something like
Yes.
Because I mean, there's a picture of the Chicago Bulls mascot, like taking a picture next to the rat hole. So this is a very
It's a
Chicago
famous.
thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. This
Well,
is kind of like, like the Auburn Tumors Corner, the Auburn
Yeah.
trees.
I mean, what if you
yeah.
just poisoned one of those trees? I mean, you think people would get all kinds
People
of
get very
mad?
upset.
They'd be up in arms.
What was that guy's name again? Who did that? What was his name? Harvey. What
Harvey
was his name?
Updike. Updike.
Oh,
By
I
the way,
remember
this is
that.
true story. I have technically met Harvey Updike. He's dead now. He's been long dead.
Really?
But
He's dead.
so this is a true story, by the way.
I didn't know he was dead.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it doesn't really matter. So when I was a firefighter, we often responded to medical calls, and one of the medical calls that we got one day was at the jail in Opelika, because sometimes that happens. Prisoners get injured, so we
Sure.
respond. And one day we responded to the jail. We got in there, and it was Harvey Updike. He was I don't know what happened to. I honestly don't remember what happened, but he might have got hurt, or he was complaining about something. But yeah, it was just him.
He probably
I was like,
screamed
oh,
"Roll Tide" and somebody punched him in the face or
he's
something.
got too much bail in him.
I guess. I
But
don't know.
excellent.
War Eagle.
All right, so Noah, do you have anything to add to the rat story?
No, I just thought that it was so cute. They should have kept it. And that rat is like, I wonder if that rat died or the squirrel or who, whatever left that mark.
The
Like,
original, the
did it
OP.
like get thrown down
That's
or something?
that's a rat. I mean, I'm looking at it because I mean, look at the tail.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what caused the rat hole. I don't know what happened with the rat hole, but
Yeah.
Oh, the news title is "Rest in Pavement,"
Oh, that's so
or
sad.
One of them is.
so I have a theory that when they were originally
There's
paving the sidewalk, a squirrel fell and caused the rat hole.
there are people with tattoos of this thing.
It's
There's a
very famous animal.
tattoo, and there are buttons. There are like pins and buttons that say "I found salvation at the rat hole." This is crazy. Okay.
People like the rat hole.
All right. Well,
All
to
right.
each
Well, our
his
next
own, I
news
guess.
story.
People got married
Next
at the
news
rat
story.
hole. Oh, sorry.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
maybe travel to the rat hole next time you go to Chicago to check it out.
They should
I'm
put it
going
in
next week. When's it supposed to be demolished? Did it say?
It's already gone.
Oh, it's already gone. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I missed it. I'm going next week. So,
That could have been one of your places you. Oh.
yeah.
All right. So our next news story.
Okay.
This is a fun one for all you animal lovers out there. So the British Army says that horses that bolted and ran loose in Central Park continue to be cared for after being injured. Okay, so apparently there were a couple of horses that so you know how like the army or like the police will have horses, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently the British Army have a bunch of horses that they
Now, is this like the Queen's Guards, like that kind of thing?
I guess kind of similar to that, right? You have these horses, but apparently something spooked the horses,
Okay.
and they just ran scared, and two of them got severely injured.
Were there riders on the back of them?
Uh-uh.
No.
These are just the horses alone. Okay.
and they got severely injured to the point where one had to get surgery.
Oh my! Let
So
me
they
see. I
got
bet there's a video of that.
severely injured, these two horses. But I think it looks like they're recovering from their injuries. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fun story. Your
it
thoughts?
it's so sad. Like these horses were like, I
Oh,
don't know what was going
oh
on,
wow! Look
but
at
they
this.
were spooked by building work. That doesn't make any sense to me. To be so spooked by building work that they smash into vehicles and like there's something fishy going
Oh,
on.
one of them got hit by a car.
One guy hit by a car. So, by the way, if you've never seen a horse get spooked before, and you know me, I'm a horse person. I know all about horses. This is not true, by the way, but
Yeah, you
I
have
have
a
seen a horse get
horse
spooked
farm.
before. So,
That's true.
I remember when I took my family to Dollywood, we went to that horse stampede show, and in the horse stampede show, one of the tricks was the horse was supposed to, with the rider on top, was supposed to jump through the fire ring. And in that moment, the horse got spooked and like stopped before jumping to the ring. And like the horse just started running around in circles. So so I'm assuming when horses get scared, they get scared and
They just run, and I can attest to that. There is actually a. I'll show you. There is a knot. Oh, let's see if I can do this right. It's
oh
right
wow,
there
he's gonna show us a scar.
on my head. I don't know if you can see that.
Right, that's when he was dropped as a
When I
child.
shave my head, you can see it real good. But so many years ago, my biological father, who I haven't seen in probably 20 years, had a couple of horses and a pony with his second marriage. I think he's been married 20 times now. But so we were out there one day on his farm, or whatever you want to call it, pasture. And I was on my horse, and my stepbrother at the time was on his horse, and we were just, trotting away. Well, the little pony spooked my horse, and while I'm on it, took off into the middle of the woods. And so I turn around on the horse real fast to try to just, jump off the back, just and let him run or whatever. Well, before I could jump off the back, a tree branch hit the back of my head, and I hit the floor. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in a beanbag chair holding a banana popsicle in my hand. I have no idea how the banana popsicle got there,
Wow.
but that was a very weird experience. So
I
yeah.
was kicked. So my dad lived on a ranch, and I went to go visit him, and there were two horses that lived on the ranch. I didn't know anything about horses at the time, and one of them was eating. My dad was giving a violin lesson, and so my sister and I were outside playing. One of them was eating. I walked right up behind it and went to go pet it on the behind, and it
Oh
kicked
wow.
me in the stomach.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and I thought I was dying.
did you go
Like
flying through the air? Like just.
I don't remember. I was super young. I was probably 8 or 9, but I
Mhm.
remember crawling to my house. And the kid who was getting a lesson, his mom was a nurse. She saw me crawling in the yard, just like I couldn't breathe, like just knocked the wind completely out of me. And like I just remember like laying on the couch, like I didn't have a head injury or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just kicked me right in the stomach, and
Ow.
oh my God, like
Not fun.
yeah, it was the most traumatic thing I've ever been through. They're like, "Why did you touch it on the butt?" I'm like, "I was just trying to pet it,"
Yeah.
like I didn't know.
Wow.
Wow. Well, thanks,
That
Anthony,
does
for your
sound
news
good.
story. Who's brought up our most traumatic incidents of our lives? Thank you.
Apparently, we've all been abused by a
By
horse.
horses.
Yeah,
I did not know that. I
Yeah.
apologize to all of you.
I'm pretty sure that's where this knot came from. I don't remember having it before then, because I was about that age that you were. I was about 9 or 10 or something like that. But yeah, I assume that's where this little knot came from, and it's raised about that big. I've had it ever since I can remember. I just assume that's where that came from
wow,
when that happened.
Well, I
that's
apologize for bringing up
scary.
these traumatic memories for everybody
Yeah,
with the horse story.
I
The only
know
thing
it.
I know about horses is that obviously beer for the horses, Whiskey for the men. That's all. That's from.
I'm going on Rate My Professor right now. And
I'm going too. Yeah, my professor is horrible. He brings up traumatic childhood.
I did one of my favorite. So this was actually not on my professor. This was on another evaluation. One of my favorite bad evaluations that someone has ever left for me was they said something to the extent of, he does talk about himself a lot. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
Oh man,
That's hilarious.
He
that's
talks
okay.
about himself a lot.
That's okay. We all do it to some extent. Come on.
Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, never talk about yourself? Like,
I mean, when we're doing the question of the day, when someone says something, then I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like, hey, I also kind of experienced that. But I thought that was pretty funny.
They don't care about your experiences, Anthony. Gosh, don't you know this?
Yeah.
No one cares about you.
they just want a good grade.
It is funny. Like, so have you ever seen that meme where it's like, it basically said, you know how it has Spider-Man on it from like Spider-Man 2 or whatever, and like it says, when the students keep asking you questions about your own personal life to delay the class starting, and then like it has Spider-Man going, "They love me." Like, yeah, that's how we all feel sometimes, right? Like they love me.
Have you ever had
Oh,
a
yeah.
student that just, for no reason, they just hated you? Like,
Oh yeah.
they were
Oh,
just
yeah.
mean and
That's every semester, isn't it?
really? I would die if I had a student.
There's
that
always
hated me. I would
one.
cry.
I
No,
had
there's
drivers
yeah,
like
there's
that.
and there's something you can do about it. I've had students where, like, I mean, every once in a while you have you have a lot of students who are just indifferent to you. Like they're just not they're not into the class. They're not into you. That's fine. But then every once in a while you have a student that like that just clearly like it just despises you for whatever reason. And it could be various reasons. It could be the grades that you're giving them. It could just because they just don't like me, which makes sense. I mean, there's people out there that don't like me, so they don't want to put up with my BS. But yeah, they're just not into like they're like okay, they're not into what I do as a teacher. And what I do as a teacher is I try to make the class fun. I goof around. I try to get us to all have conversation, get to know each other. And some students are just not into that. So I've had students who have told me face to face, like, and I respect them for saying that, but like they'll say something like, "I wish I would have took this class online." So, it's like fair enough. Like it's just like a fair enough, or So yeah, but for every one of those, you have 2 or 3 that like who have all kinds of nice things to say about the class and everything. So it is what it is. And of course, you'll read when I read my evaluations, like, yeah, you like me, yeah, whatever, yeah, I'm great, yeah, whatever. And then you'll get to the one where it's like, this guy was the worst teacher ever. You're like, what? That's the one you focus on.
That's the troll. That's what that is.
So, do you know who they are?
I typically have a good idea of who they are because they often give away who they are with the description of, like, they'll often say something where like they'll pinpoint a particular thing that happened,
and you already know.
And
about
I'm like,
it. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but in that particular moment, it wasn't what you're describing it was. Like I had a student who complained that I didn't let them do something, but I ended up letting them do the thing that they were complaining about, and they still like complained about that I wasn't letting them do it. It's like I ended up letting you do the thing that you were complaining about.
Yeah.
Like off the bat, they're like, he didn't right off the bat let me do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But but even though you eventually came around, they were like only focused on that. That's so dumb.
Look, I don't, yeah, it's just like some people just don't like me, which is fine. That's just, it's in real life. People don't like me. So you just kind of encounter that sort of thing. But yeah.
Be nice to my friend.
Leave them alone.
They're all watching this. Leave Brittany alone.
But to be, I mean, not to like sort of to my own horn, but like, I mean, if you look at my evaluations and like it's the majority of people like me. It's like, Like if you look, so I get rated on from a scale from 1 to 5 on various things, and it's all like 4 point something for everything. So it's really not.
If a student say brought you a White Claw, would you give them an extra couple of points on their next test?
I would not. I would not do that.
I would have to be a White Claw surge. I got it.
I've had students who like I've like genuinely liked in the class that I had to give bad grades to just because they earned the bad grade. It's just the way it is, you know. Like I enjoyed having you in the class. You were fun to have in the class. You participated. You know.
But you're an idiot.
We often, you know, yeah.
You're so stupid.
I would.
I
Never
hate to
be
give
able
you
to
this
do
F.
I would be. That would make me so upset to have to give someone a bad grade. Even if I hated them, I would be like, "You're gonna come. They're gonna come after my family. They're gonna come at like."
No.
I
How
don't
many
know.
students have you failed?
Like in my time of teaching.
Yeah, just a total. Like, can you count them on both hands?
So to be fair, the students who have failed my class generally, like without a doubt, deserve to fail
They don't
for
want to
whatever
be.
reason.
They didn't want to be there.
They didn't come. They didn't like. I mean, it's just like to fail my class, you have to like just not do assignments.
Gotcha.
It's not like I'm like. It's not like someone comes to my class, they do everything necessary, and they just I fail them based on harsh grading. That's not how
That's not what I read on Rate My Professor.
He failed
If you
me, and
fail
I
my
did
class-
everything for him.
If you fail my class, most likely there was a major assignment that you just did not do.
I even let him brush my hair. It was.
Would you fail your own child if they took your class?
Oh, that's a good question.
If they didn't earn the grade, yeah. Yeah.
Monster.
Especially if it was my child. Especially. Well, no. You earn the grade that you get. That's not even a question.
Man, if my parents were teachers, I would take their class and cook them dinner every night and not do any of the work. Please pass
My
me.
mom was an English teacher. Granted, it was in a different school district, but if my English grade was suffering, I heard about it. It was bad.
Yeah. I was a very good student. So I was a nerd.
I was not. I made D's and C's. I barely made it through.
In my undergrad, I was a really bad student.
Really? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this student stuff for a lot longer than I have to.
I didn't take it seriously until my master's and my PhD.
I hated school, just period. Like, I just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I liked all the extracurricular stuff, like, as I did band and I did choir, and like in middle school I did like drama and that kind of, like, I enjoyed that kind of stuff. But like as far as like the core stuff go, I didn't want to do that crap. I knew how to read. I could do basic arithmetic. You know, I could write. That's all I needed. I didn't care about any other crap.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember when teachers were like, you can't carry a calculator in your pocket for the rest of your life?
And now we do. And now we do. It's right here.
It is kind of embarrassing because I have a PhD, but I cannot do basic math. Like, I mean, it's embarrassing. Like, I can't do basic. Like, if you try to throw a 9 times something at me, I can't. Like, don't even ask me. Don't ask me 9
You can
times
do like
something.
the 9 times, like that. You use your fingers for the 9s, you know?
I don't know how to do the finger trick with the nines.
Yeah. So like with the 9s, you hold your hands up, like so 9 times 1, you put down your right pinky.
Mm-hmm.
That's a trick in
9 times
itself.
1
You
is
have to
9.
do that.
And then so 9 times 2, you put down the second one. No, you hold the pinky back up.
Oh,
Hold your pinky. Yeah. So now it's wait, is it? Am I going? No, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, sorry. You do the other one. You put your left one down, and then it's 17.
This is more complicated than math.
Right, so you have the 1 before
Okay.
the break, and then you have 7 more,
I'm trying
or
to.
8 more. That's what it is. I don't know what 9 times 8. So it's 18. So 1 plus 8, 1 and 8, and then it's 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and then
Oh
9.
wow, I didn't even think that. That makes a whole lot of sense. Actually, that does help. That actually does kind of help. But
Nines are the easiest.
I am terrible at math. Is like if I were to take the GRE, obviously like English, the English section, I would excel at, but math, like someone like Jeremy, like if you actually think about Jeremy, by the way, this is a true story about Jeremy, and he's like, if you bring it up, he kind of like he doesn't like to admit it, but Jeremy got a perfect score on the SATs.
Shut up.
I'm pretty sure. Like I need to ask
Wow.
him again, but I'm pretty sure he got a perfect score. Like so, especially when it comes to the math thing. Like if you go to Jeremy and say, "Hey, what's so and so times blank blah blah blah," like he'll tell you the answer.
That's why he works for the MIB, man.
I mean,
He's
there are people who are just like that.
protecting our planet from aliens. That's what he's doing. I believe Jeremy when he goes to work, he has a black suit on, and he goes and talks to aliens in the coffee room. Like I'm pretty sure that's what he does.
Very good. That seems like a great place to end. But that is our show for today. I want to thank everybody who came here today. For the nobody who's listening, thank you for listening. Of course, you can check us out on our YouTube channel, sci-figangsters.com. I want to thank Noah for being here. Thank you so much, Noah.
And thank you for that awesome magic trick.
Well,
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it.
How do you know how to make like $20,000 show up in my wallet right now? Do you know how to do that trick?
Yeah, for sure. First, I just need you to bring me a couple of things. I need a worm with a mustache.
Okay. I can provide the mustache. I don't know about the worm.
Now you have to put it on a worm.
Okay.
And then
All right.
I need like some water. I need some tomatoes. Like they have to be fresh grown and
I'll grab them from Anthony's garden. Nice.
Right, and then I need a spicy margarita.
I can do that.
Oh,
Right.
That's
Put them
easy.
all together.
Okay.
And
I thought you were going to say,
And then put it on eBay. Pray that it
My
happens.
mother's maiden name.
Oh man.
Very good. All right. Well, that is it for our show. I'll go ahead and say goodbye to the audience. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye everyone.